Good afternoon, that Park Place. Welcome to Midday Magic. I'm Marvin Movie Monster Montanero, your host and the editor-in-chief of a little website called thatparkplace.com. We are ready for a great show today. We got a number of awesome stories to talk about, and we have a special guest this week joining, a ringer, if you will.
Potatoes, fried green tomatoes, arugula. Hey, what's up?
When injustice strikes, I strike back.
Culture Casino. Let's go. Culture Casino. Let's go. When the EMS tries their best, strapping down, check his chest. Culture Casino.
All right, that's enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Culture Casino joining us today.
Hey, thank you for that. Wow, yeah, I'm I'm not really that cranky yet. It's early in the day. It takes a while for me to get cranked up.
It
but
does.
no.
It does. I mean,
But-
if this were an after sundown,
Yeah. After the sun
wow,
goes down, a cranky casino comes out. But I'll just say this: your new song is incredible, my friend. Oh my
the
gosh!
one the pro made.
Yeah, what a
Yeah,
celebration!
it's not bad.
What a
It's okay.
celebration!
It's catchy. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
all
fun.
right.
I didn't know.
Also-
I didn't know you could do the stuntman stuff with the helicopter. I thought that was very cool.
It's a hidden talent of mine. Also joining us this week from Hanging with Erika and Raph show, it is Erika.
Hi, fam. How's everyone?
Erika, I love that Yoshi that you've got in your background.
You know who got it for me?
Who?
Go and Shogi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went to Fan Fest. Was it last year? Because we couldn't make it. I wanted to take Raph so bad to the Back to the Future thing. So he picked up a few little things for Raph and got me one of those.
That's really cool. But you know what's ironic about it, Erika? I have got the same exact Yoshi.
Oh my gosh. Are you eyeballing that popcorn bucket from the theaters? Because I am.
I am more than eyeballing it. I have already earmarked it for to get it. I mean, it is yeah. So I realized with this Mario movie, I'm gonna go broke because I've got to get popcorn bucket. I've got to get the Luma popcorn bucket. And like some of these things are at different theater chains, so I'm gonna have to see this movie three different times at three different theaters in order.
I've got friends on and family on alert. Please, if you can score me one, let me know. And I got people like, because they don't have those out here at all, not even on base.
Really, that's insane.
Yeah, they don't do popcorn buckets like that out here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you try to go see a movie out there, you can't see it in English, right?
Yeah, actually, a lot of them are in English. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they just don't do the cool popcorn buckets. They don't do the cute. Yeah.
Thankfully, the Yoshi popcorn bucket is at every major theater.
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of the thing. Look, it's another stream of revenue that helps the theater chains, get some money, and it hasn't been movies lately. So.
Also joining us this week, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss MJ.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
How you doing? I like your
Great.
hat.
Oh, thank you.
Happens to be my favorite movie.
50th anniversary. I was really excited when I got it, but it's from Vineyard Vines. I couldn't find all of the other ones were sold out.
Yeah.
My 50th anniversary Jaws merch is this sipper from Universal.
Oh, that's cute. I've seen those.
So cute.
Yeah.
I got the lunchbox and the beverage holder and then the hat and the spirit jersey. So I'm okay with that.
I have a major issue with popcorn buckets and sippers at these theme parks. Like,
It's gross, right? If you think about it, you put your mouth on it and it's got, I got to take it home and clean it and put it in the dishwasher. I can't
Also joining us, guys, from the Vash Sky Park cast, the one and only Mr. Vash Sky.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me. Marvin Culture, Magical MJ, Erika, great to see you and great to be on that Park Blast.
Oh, absolutely. Great to have you here. Guys, we have got a slew of park news to get to today and not a lot of time to get to it. So we have got to, I'm trying to figure out where I want to start this week. You know what? I think we're going to start with an evacuation at Disneyland yesterday. So let's take a look at that. Hold on, let me just cue that story up. I actually should have had that queued up already. Oh, come on.
While we're at it, guys, thanks for the chats. We appreciate you. We see you.
Yes, and we do have a super chat goal today, guys. If we hit that super chat goal, we will each give you our number one theme park hack, our number one theme park tip. So here we go. Let's get going with our launch story. There was a major incident in Disneyland just yesterday, folks. A hazardous materials scare forced an evacuation in Tomorrowland. We saw ride closures and 8 cast members being sent to the hospital. Let's take a look at it today on That Park Place. All right, this from thatparkplace.com. You see here, guests visiting Disneyland Park experienced an unexpected disruption Tuesday after an evacuation was triggered in parts of Tomorrowland following a hazardous materials incident backstage that sickened several cast members and sent them to the hospital. According to multiple reports from inside the park, sections of Tomorrowland were shut down, and attractions including Space Mountain were evacuated while emergency crews responded to the situation. Initial reports indicated Anaheim Fire and Rescue responded to Disneyland Resort after a hazardous materials alert. Here's from Scott Gustin. Building materials used by a contractor triggered a reaction backstage at Disneyland. Several cast members were treated on site by paramedics and released, while 5 experiencing dizziness and shortness of breath were taken to local hospitals. So apologies if I said 8 before. I don't know it is 5. But then Gustin clarified later. Oh, this is why I said 8. Now I remember. I knew 8 was in my head for a reason. He says, update, 8 Disneyland cast members who experienced dizziness and shortness of breath were transported to local hospitals for evaluation. This does not mean they were hospitalized or admitted, only that they were taken for further medical evaluation. I wonder, guys, if Scott Gustin may have gotten a call from the company about the definition of the term hospitalized.
It seems like it to me. I was surprised by that last little line right there, included by Scott Gustin, because multiple people had been reporting on that major news outlets by this point that those cast members had been hospitalized. So I do wonder, to your point, Marvin, if Disney was like, hey, could you clear the air for us when it comes to this particular point? Because I think Disneyland officials know that it didn't exactly look good, this story.
So now, if this is in fact a situation with an outside contractor, that is certainly interesting. Now, Vash, is there like work going on in that particular area right now?
Yeah, nearby you have the you have 4 sections of Main Street, right? And so the nearest construction project to that area right now is going to be that kind of Adventureland North quadrant of Main Street. That whole corner of Main Street is actually being worked on right now. A lot of people were noticing that the original Carnation company sign was actually out there on display when those scrims were down due to the Santa Ana winds and so forth. So there is construction going on specifically around that area, roughly, and in multiple areas of Disneyland Resort. We have multiple attractions going into Disney California Adventure, for example. Disneyland, obviously getting that Bluey show. So there's a lot of work taking place right now. It was quite surprising to see some, I don't know, noxious fumes or whatever emanate right behind the Star Tours attraction, not too far from the In-Between, which is a backstage restaurant for cast members. So it's really, really quite surprising. And we're, I'm hoping, obviously, that all those people are all right. Haven't had an update on their conditions just yet. But definitely a serious incident for sure that made a lot of headlines, including in major news.
Yeah, so we don't know if anyone was admitted. I feel like if they had been admitted or hospitalized at this point, we would know. So the reports, Erika, from the park indicate that Space Mountain Star Tours, Star Traders gift shop, Space Mountain restrooms, and the upper level of the Star Wars launch bay were all evacuated. Now, what does this tell you as somebody who frequents the parks? Even though this did not impact guests, do you think this is going to stick in the minds of a lot of guests when trying to plan vacations?
No, I don't think so. This is a first for Disney, honestly, for something like this to happen. So, it might create a little bit of caution, but not. I don't think people are going to change their travel plans or anything. People Disney's pretty good about. I think they handled the situation well and as best as they could, and I think people recognize that.
Yeah, absolutely. MJ, would it give you any pause if there was an incident like this, say at Walt Disney World around Tomorrowland?
It would have me on high alert because I can't especially me, my situation, I can't breathe certain things. It'll mess with me. I would have to look for not shelter, but like aid to find a place to, go to where it's not happening. I don't even know how they handled this situation. I didn't get too deep into the story, but I would definitely be on the lookout for where I can go, where I can get like fresh air or breathe fresh oxygen or something. It's an unfortunate event, and I agree with Erika. They handled it the best way that they could. It's just really, really tough for some individuals that have, certain situations that they cannot breathe. It'll affect them more than the normal person. That's probably what I should say. Yeah.
Right now, Culture Casino, do you think there is any truth to the rumor that this was caused by Disney attempting to replicate your purple potato fertilizer in the back in their back gardens?
I don't think so. Like I said, more than likely this is a combination of cleaning products or something like that. That would be my guess. Spilled cleaning products you can create a hazard. It causes all the symptoms that you guys are describing with the difficulty breathing, and it'll create nausea. It'll create a lot of things, and people just get very, very sick from that. So that would be my guess if I were going to say that. And because of the nature of the area where this happened, that would have been my guess. And again, I don't think it would dissuade that many people, because this is while it's not the only incident where there's been something unfavorable happening in the parks, it doesn't keep guests away for very long, if at all.
I mean, look, I've smelled many a noxious fume in Walt Disney World over the last year or two, usually from a sewage leak of some sort, or issues underground. Exactly. Or one time I was sitting on the stone benches in Adventureland by Swiss Family Treehouse, and I could smell the bathroom that was literally across like the entire street from where I was sitting on that stone bench. I was just like, man, somebody had a cataclysmic movement there.
And that bathroom's pretty it's right across from the carpets, right? It's gotta be
it's over kind of by that little tunnelway that goes from Adventureland into Frontierland. And I'm like, how am I across the walkway? And this smell got out of the bathroom, crossed the street where there's dozens of people crisscrossing, and got to me.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That's quite something right there. I wonder if a sewer line had ruptured not too far from where that was, because that's the only way I can even think of that.
I
that smell hitting you.
Some guy that just had a bad reaction to the fajitos at Pecos Bill.
Oh no!
Hey, those things happen, man.
That's a bad day
those
in there,
sauces, man. Those spicy sauces.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I had speculated similarly to Culture actually initially when I heard the story, because we've heard about multiple instances actually taking place at Walt Disney World not too far in the distant past, where there were some chemical accommodations that were made. Unfortunately, cast members had to be medically checked out. Given those reactions right there, I believe that happened at the Polynesian, if I'm not mistaken, relatively recently. So this is a little bit different, because they're really pinpointing construction materials related to a third-party contractor, which I thought was quite the interesting phrasing, at least with this particular incident. We don't quite know exactly what happened. I mean, Disney's being pretty cagey about this, which I found was interesting.
What? Disney?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So
hasn't admitted that it had a massive ferry boat crash a year and a half ago, or something like that. That left 19 people hospitalized. That Disney?
Yeah, that's a very good point, Marvin. I can't believe that incident had slipped my mind. But yes, the same Disney who within I suppose an hour of this really making the headlines and really making the headway, they announced a big change at the Experiences division involving multiple executives, and I was like, that's very interesting timing. surrounding all of this. So there's that aspect as well. But I know that what Fox and I believe the local affiliate for CBS, when they tried to get word from Disney, they couldn't get the information as as much as they would like and as much as we would like. But this whole thing is. Thankfully, it was handled appropriately. They evacuated facilities just as a precaution, and they later reopened those facilities not too long after. So it looks like the situation was mitigated successfully. But still, hopefully those cast members are okay.
Just the Dutchie in the chat goes, it was Marvin with bad BO, but he blames
my
Disney.
Lord.
No, and I responded to that in the chat, and I said, no, if it was me, I wouldn't have minded because everyone enjoys their own flavor. Like nobody gets offended by their own smell. But I realized I commented, and it came up as That Park Place saying it. So
I did see that. I go, wait a minute, That Park Place?
I sometimes forget that when I'm logged in here, I'm That Park Place.
I do
I'll say
too.
something that I wouldn't mind me saying, but I don't want the brand to say.
No, yeah.
This is the official position of That Park
Official
Place.
position of That Park Place
Yes,
is that
folks, we
everyone
only
enjoys
have
their own
high-class
pet, no matter
stuff
how
on
bad
this
it may
show.
get.
Oh boy.
But seriously though, I mean, like, it sounds like it was a freak accident. It sounds like, it was.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was the fault of whatever this third-party contractor is. I wonder if that will impact contracts going forward for this contractor if they are deemed to be like at fault, if it was any kind of negligence. But it does not seem like Disney did anything specifically wrong in this situation. It sounds like they handled it pretty well. It sounds like they shut it down. They got the people help that needed help, and they got guests out of the path of danger pretty quickly. So, what could have been a bad situation, and what I feel like may have been a bad situation if it happened on the East Coast, did not turn into a bad situation on the West. So kudos to them for their response on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, guys, we got to get back to the stars of the show. All right. We've got some super chats to get to, guys, real quick. I'm just doing some stuff in the background there. Let's see what you guys have to say. OG Dutchie for €6 says the goal is set pretty early since the stream doesn't go live for another 30 minutes. You cheater! What? We're helping you guys with that by getting the super chat goals out early. Also, that way we get to know about the super chat goals and they don't take us by surprise.
Hey, I like that.
Oh yeah, I do like that. Thank you. That way we know if we have to stand on our heads or sing a lullaby or I don't even know.
I'm gonna opt out of the standing on my head. Okay.
Like Tweedledee, Tweedledum. You don't like
You get up.
Oh.
Wild and Crazy Bear for $2. Marvin, what is your favorite film of 1999? So I'm assuming this is a question because of Lauren Apollo last night. I'm not able to make it on Tuesday nights anymore. But if they did 99 last night, honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Like that's I'd have to when I make those lists, I have to actually like look at the year and like dig through and whatnot. So I couldn't tell you what movies came out in 1999 to even venture a guess. But I'm sure I would have had a good list because when we make those lists, I realize I can do like, a dozen movies that I saw that year. I have not seen a dozen movies in a year in many years.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed
I used
that?
to go to the movies every week, like when I was in like my early 20s.
It was
Yeah,
a thing.
Have you noticed that it's hard to find something to go see?
It
I mean,
is.
like something that you're like enthusiastic about.
I have noticed that culture.
It's really weird. It's almost like they're making unwantable, unwatchable.
It's almost like they're making bad movies now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Are you guys
Juliet, remember for 17 months, asked me if I'm doing M4 Empire Gaming tonight. Yes, I believe I am. After the Geeks and Gamers play at that starts at 9:00, so usually around 11. I think I will go live, and I'm trying to decide what to play tonight since we finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. I may continue Arkham City, but I'm playing. I'm still not 100% if I'm doing it yet, Juliet, just because I'm trying to stream directly from OBS. A little technical stuff for you. I'm trying to bypass StreamYard entirely. StreamYard is creating some audio issues with the stream, so like it's creating issues of hearing the game audio because I think it's just going through one too many things. Because to go from the capture card to OBS, to StreamYard, to YouTube. I think if I could just cut out StreamYard, I think that it might resolve itself. So once I figure out how to do that, I think I've got a handle on it. But as long as I can have a minute to actually like do a little test run later today, I think then I'll be able to actually do it. So Ken Reinhardt for $2 says the Epic Universe undies ended up at Disneyland. Oh gosh. Those of you that didn't see that story, Jonas and I talked about it on Extra Magic with Jonas and Marv on either this Friday or the Friday before, but they actually found a pair of discarded underpants in Epic Universe.
Oh.
And instead of just like getting it out of the way quietly, Rough Nut and Tough Nut in Burke actually like skewered them with like a stick.
Oh,
And
I saw
like
a
ran with
picture
them
of
throughout
that.
the land.
that's actually really clever for them to
Yeah.
do
That
that.
would have been fun to do.
Those
That's,
two
no,
always
I
stay in
I thought it was
character.
funny. I thought it was funny.
that's
But, you know,
interesting marketing. Let's just say.
It is. You're talking about movies and, you know, how movies aren't good anymore. That reminds
Wow.
me of a story that we need to talk about.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Wolf.
You enjoy it.
We will.
Lucasfilm has everything riding on The Mandalorian and Grogu, the big Star Wars return to movies after all these years. But recently, a posting by the Writers Guild of America has shown some light on exactly who is working on The Mandalorian and Grogu. And the answer, well, it may kill any hope that you had for this film. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys from geeksandgamers.com, I wrote this yesterday. Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian Season 3 writer Noah Clure revealed as a key writer on The Mandalorian and Grogu. This is not good. So let's have a look-see at this. The upcoming Star Wars film Mandalorian Grogu is also facing growing skepticism from fans as newly revealed writing credits are doing little to calm those concerns. According to official filings with the Writers Guild of America, the Book of Boba Fett writer Noah Clure, who also wrote a divisive episode of The Mandalorian Season 3, is credited as one of the film's screenwriters alongside Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And there's a picture of him right there. Now let's see his track record here. While Favreau and Filoni are the names most closely associated with the early success of The Mandalorian, Noah Clure has been a part of the Disney-era Star Wars writing team for several years. Clure served as a primary writer on the Book of Boba Fett, wrote all 7 episodes of that. It was widely criticized by fans for its inconsistent storytelling, uneven pacing, and baffling decision to sideline the titular character in favor of extended Mandalorian-focused episodes. The series was intended to elevate one of Star Wars' most iconic bounty hunters. Instead, it quickly became a lightning rod for criticism within the fandom. Then The Mandalorian Season 3, the most divisive series of that show. Clure's involvement did not end with Boba Fett. He contributed to The Mandalorian Season 3, which marked a noticeable shift away from the tight storytelling and character-driven narrative that made the first 2 seasons so successful. Instead, the season was filled with detours into broader New Republic politics, extended side quests, a pivot toward Bo-Katan as the central protagonist, and plot lines that many viewers felt dragged down the central story of Din Djarin and Grogu. One episode in particular, Chapter 19, The Convert, drew widespread criticism for its lengthy focus on bureaucratic life in the New Republic rather than advancing the core narrative of the show. That episode was co-written by Noah Clure. So, guys, Culture, I want to start with you on this one. Not a lot of hope for The Mandalorian and Grogu here if one of the writers responsible for some of Disney's biggest whiffs in Star Wars is responsible for writing this. And one thing to think about, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are also listed as writers. How much of this do you think they wrote as opposed to how much the actual staff writer wrote?
It's difficult to say, and that's my concern. If this guy was responsible for, as you call it, a whiff, I would say our previous 2 stories were more about whiffing. But this is a bad sign. I'm not looking forward to it. I wasn't before. I think this show had run its course, and I don't think as a film property it's going to do much for Star Wars and Lucasfilm specifically. And to say that there's a lot riding on this, whoever brilliantly wrote that article, they're not wrong. There is an awful lot riding on this. It needs to be successful. It needs to be a stark departure from the television fare that we've seen. And if this is what we're getting, and you and I think, talked a little bit about it on the H-Cast yesterday with Nate, I'm worried. I'm concerned. I have a feeling that I'm going to get Book of Boba Fett, the Grogu edition, and that just is not going to be good at all. This is going to be pretty horrible. Mm-hmm. So
now, MJ, I know you are a newcomer to Star Wars. Were you planning on going to see this movie or to take your kids to see it?
I was planning on taking my son to see it, but now that I'm hearing about this more in depth, I mean, it makes me wonder, right? Because he really enjoys all of that. So ooh, it's kind of scary. I just think it's really sad what has happened to you, Star Wars fans, the diehard Star Wars fans. This whole thing is just really out of hand. The way they've treated the fans, the OGs, man. It's not good. Why can't they just put something really well together and get the right people to produce it? I mean, you guys deserve it. Is that Jabba?
No, it's Jabba's son.
Oh, so I don't know. I mean, he really is looking forward to the movie. We want to go see it. I'm not jumping up and down for joy over it at all, but I hope it's good. But what is that? That
thing is ugly
oh,
and
It looks like one of the crocodiles from Donkey Kong Country. But
don't
there
put
you
your
go.
hand in that mouth.
He's only angry because he doesn't have a toothbrush.
yeah, all of them teeth and no toothbrush.
Or he's hungry.
Bash.
why?
I think when people hear The Mandalorian and Grogu, they think about those first 2 seasons, right? Those beloved first 2 seasons culminating with that
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker reveal, which was just one of the greatest moments in it is definitely the greatest moment in Disney Star Wars. And it's up there with all
Yes.
the moments in Star Wars, just in just the joy that it brought the fandom. But it looks now like the creative team here. I mean, how much writing do you think Jon Favreau actually did on this? And how much of it was done by the people that wrote The Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3, and Ahsoka with being Dave Filoni?
Oh man, I mean, I would assume that it would be at least 50-50, right? But now that we have more writers being added to the mix, and I don't know, Dave Filoni being a much more of a presence around the halls of Lucasfilm, it's unclear on what level of involvement Jon Favreau even offers to this project. And even if he does, some of his best work obviously being in the director's seat, we saw that horribly received Super Bowl ad that apparently he directed. So it's kind of like, oh no, one of the best aspects of the Mandalorian Grogu series in general is that Jon Favreau taking a kind of a front row seat here. Now that's all been thrust into question, and you can really see the anticipation diminish, not just within the fandom, which obviously after season 3, A Book of Boba Fett, and so forth, that had diminished from there, but also too within the halls of Disney. We're hearing multiple reports out of a lot of different trade publications and so forth that internally Disney does not view this as the big headlining thing that resurrects Star Wars. In fact, they're putting their monies on Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, which I thought was very, very interesting. It just feels like nobody believes in this project. Part of that has to do with this very unique sub niche of this IP. But yeah, I don't hold a lot of confidence in this film. I think it'll do okay, but not nearly the Force Awakens type numbers that maybe it could have achieved had Mandalorian Grogu hadn't fallen off a cliff the way it has.
Right. Now, Erika, the one thing that everyone always tries to say about these Star Wars projects that are coming out now is, will this be the return to form? Will this be the return to form for Star Wars? Can anyone possibly imagine that this will be any kind of return to form when the guys writing it are responsible for some of the worst of Disney Star Wars?
Yeah, no, not looking at it from the perspective of the OG fans. And yeah, I really do feel for you guys who are really into the lore and know your Star Wars stuff. And I look to you guys to kind of follow y'all in terms of, okay, should I watch this? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And so far, nothing has come out that any of you guys have recommended. So I follow y'all's lead, the fans, and nothing has been brought to my attention from any of the fans that's worthy of watch. So I don't watch.
At the end of the day, with this movie, I mean, The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 actually had moments that I felt harkened back to the original Star Wars, moments that I thought you could hold up there with some of the original trilogy, up to and including that final Luke Skywalker moment where literally they gave us everything we wanted out of the sequel trilogy, which was just to see Luke Skywalker using the Force as a master.
Yeah.
And finally,
but then nothing.
3 came out, and it proved that they had learned nothing. That the Kathleen Kennedy, vision was, still full steam ahead, and it almost seemed like Jon Favreau had almost lost some control. I mean, there was a
Oh.
Jon Favreau played one of the Mandalorian characters, not pre-Vizsla, but he's one of the Vizslas. And his character was killed in one of the episodes by a sequel era Praetorian guard. And some people, Culture Casino, believe that that was almost symbolic. That was almost Jon Favreau being like, "Hey guys, this is out of my hands now. Like I have completely lost control of this." When we've heard rumors, Culture, about this Lucasfilm civil war that was going on behind the scenes, but I don't know how much stock anyone really puts in that.
Well, I think there's always been a power struggle since Kathleen Kennedy took over the job. I feel like she didn't leave a lot of room for nuance and for other people's creative ideas. I think once she got that kind of power, she really, discounted if it wasn't her idea, if it didn't come from her story group, if it wasn't something that supported her vision of Star Wars and remaking it in the female centric image that she had in mind. I think that, you were largely discounted, if not completely eliminated from the creative process. So, I would just say that I think that's well beyond just rumor at this point. I think she left and there was a great rejoicing, and I think now they're trying to figure out how to salvage all these destroyed properties, because it's not just Star Wars that got destroyed. It was also anything tied to Lucasfilm, whether it be Willow or Raiders. I'm sorry, Indiana Jones, or any of those things. They all got kind of picked over, and that's the other thing. This Grogu film unfortunately feels like it was picked over creatively. And so would it surprise me if Favreau had very little input, if he was putting down his lightsaber and letting Vader strike him down so that, at least somebody would come up a little bit more powerful? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. This is dumb. This is so dumb.
We've seen remarkably little in terms of like what this movie's about, or anything that would really sell it, other than, oh, look at the baby. It's the puppy dog marketing, right?
Yeah.
It's when a movie has a cute dog in it,
Yep.
and they focus on the dog in all the marketing because it'll draw in people who just want to see a cute dog. It's what they're trying to do with Supergirl right now. It's what they tried to do with Superman, and that didn't work. I don't think that's going to work though, guys, because everyone that would have been, oh, look at the baby, has already seen 3 seasons of him for, well, not for free, but like for a Disney Plus subscription at home on Disney Plus. I don't get what the draw is of seeing Grogu on the big screen. I feel like Grogu mania has completely died out. They don't put him in any new outfits or any new variations of him. So anyone that wants Grogu merchandise has it already. I don't know.
I was going to ask you about that merch.
one?
I was going to actually ask you about the merch question, because the Mandalorian is like, from the past, is really popular for some reason. Like young boys, I would say maybe ages 7 to 12, 13, 14, really like the merchandise of the Mandalorian. Even those eyeglasses that you can purchase and get the toppers put on, they have the Mandalorian and Grogu, because they're really pushing this out. But is the merchandise popular? I guess that's my question.
So the Mandalorian merchandise is cool because the T-visor of the helmet is cool.
It is so
Because
cool.
since The Empire Strikes Back, fans have been enamored with the design of the Mandalorian armor, because Boba Fett sold more action figures than almost anybody in the original trilogy, and the guy had like 4 lines in The Empire Strikes Back and no lines in Return of the Jedi. So, Boba Fett was a character that had remarkably little on the screen, was really expanded upon in the now decanonized expanded universe, and then ruined in Disney Star Wars by Noah Clure, the guy who's writing this movie. So, the coolness factor of The Mandalorian may be undercut by the writing factor that we see expressed here on screen. And my guess here is that the actual WGA writer that is on this movie is doing the bulk of the writing, that Filoni, who is running the studio and has been running creative on Star Wars for, years now, before he even took over the studio. And Jon Favreau, who's directing the film, I can't imagine them writing the first draft of the script. I think they probably coordinated ideas with Noah Clure, and he probably wrote it.
Wow.
That's just my
Yeah.
That's just my take as a writer. But guys, we will see come May whether or not the forces with this and whether or not audiences are still going to grow to the theater. Oh, that was a bad one. I'm sorry. She said the box office will grow.
It's fine.
Second I said it, I was like, man, that was a whiff. I'm not on my game today. So I am still feeling the impact of a lack of sleep the other night because I went to Magic Kingdom after hours event
Oh, how did you like that?
Monday night.
Right?
So I'll give you guys a little mini review of it.
Please.
It was, so I'm going to say it was a lot of fun. I went with Jay, Drunk 3PO, X-Wing 5, and Cole Hauser and Eldritch, and we had a really nice time. It was, you got free ice cream all night, so you get free premium Mickey bars or Mickey ice cream sandwiches, free soda, free water, and all the rides were just walk-ons. Which does not mean the event was not well attended, because they purposely undersell that event. The point of what you're paying for is you pretty much have unrestricted access to a lot of things. Now, that being said, the things were very restricted. You did, like, a lot of things weren't open, but the big rides were all open for most of the time. I will say we went on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and walked right on the ride, got all the way through, saw there was nobody waiting to get on the ride, and just asked if we could go again, and they let us go around a second time.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was also.
Did you guys go on Tron or any of the thrill?
X-Wing and Eldritch went on Tron. Jay Colehauser and I sat that one out, but they waited about 30 minutes for it.
I really want to know how people feel about that back seat of Tron.
Oh,
the
I love
one
it.
that accommodates you.
I did that one.
Is it comfortable? Please tell.
I loved it. It was great. I actually prefer it to hunching over.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to
have a spine issue, so sitting in the back and holding it was great. I thought it was fun.
Thank you. I was wondering about that.
Well, I forgot you also do get free popcorn at the event too.
Oh, okay. Unlimited popcorn refills?
Yeah, unlimited. You just walk up.
Wow.
They have it. There were several stations throughout the park where you go up and they just hand it out to you, or they were putting the drinks up there and you just go and take whatever drink you wanted.
Nice.
Now, all of that sounds great, but the price tag was outrageous.
Oh, do tell.
$200 for this event. And it went from 10 p.m. when park closes to 1 a.m.
That's 4 hours.
I don't know.
Now, if this event were $100, if it were $100, I would have been like, that was money well spent. This was worth $100.
Right.
They used to be 120.
Yeah.
Not no more.
Yeah.
Oh man,
120 I think would be fine. It'd be fine if they threw in, because I've been to DVC after hours events. I have friends who are DVC. I don't have it myself, but I've gone to those Moonlight Magic events, and this felt a lot like that, because in that as well, you walk onto all the rides, you get the free popcorn, the free ice cream, and all that other stuff. The difference here is that at the Moonlight Magic events, they also have rare character meet and greets, like real.
Oh, true. Yes.
I mean, like characters I've gotten pictures with at Moonlight Magic, Chip and Dale in their Rescue Rangers outfits.
Oh, how cute!
That's cute.
Like the hippo from Fantasia, the entire cast of Robin Hood.
I miss those guys. They used to come out in the like late 80s when we were like kids.
The three hyenas from The Lion King.
Oh, that makes
that's
it
a
worth
fun
it.
interaction.
Captain Phasma was one. Even though I don't like Captain Phasma, I was still like, I still want to, go get that picture because it's so rare. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was there. I got pictures with Ewoks, and they were actually like little.
Oh, how cute! I love that.
So I mean, like
that's
those.
Cool.
So if you had that at these events, I could see maybe justifying a higher price. Still not $200 though.
No,
that sucks too.
Maybe like a good 120. I mean 150 because of inflation. I would say like a 150, 160 price mark for good character meet and greets, an empty park, and free snacks.
So the Epcot one is 150.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But
Mhm.
Magic
It's
Kingdom has all that construction going on. Like I don't. Never
It's
mind.
always the
I'm
most
gonna shush.
expensive
Here's the
part.
other thing.
Always. Hmm.
You remember how I said there was nobody on Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
Mhm.
We got off Tiana's Bayou Adventure at 10:45, and they were closing the ride. It wasn't even
Oh.
open.
Wow.
That ride wasn't even open for the whole event.
See, and that's disappointing because hard ticket events are supposed to be extra special.
Exactly.
I mean, when I was able to go to Disneyland, whenever I wanted to, I would oftentimes take advantage of the VIP parties and things like that. They were more frequent back then as well. And do you remember during the celebrations prior to the global crisis, shutdown that we went
Yep.
through? I'm sure Vash remembers this. They even had like the parks open for 24 hours events.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
Those are awesome.
Oh, the
those are
24-hour. They stopped doing those when I moved here, and I always wanted to go to one.
Yeah. So
same.
anytime you could go to something like that, but I went to a lot of special events, and I did one that was Indiana Jones themed. I still have my golf shirt from that, and other things like that. And I think we miss out, but I think the price point is far too high. I think it's not worth it. It's like doing a dessert party. I mean, where's the value in that?
Culture, I've been so like on the edge with that fireworks dessert party because we could do it, right? But I'm just not intrigued enough to want to do it. It's just like, I mean, have you guys ever done the fireworks party? Are the desserts
No.
outstanding?
I did the Star Wars fireworks party when they had it, and I actually really liked it because the desserts were really good. It had an open bar, and it was and they also had like savory like charcuterie and stuff like that, and then the seating you got for the fire. So when I did the Star Wars one, which by the way, that Star Wars fireworks show was the best fireworks show on property, and they
I
got
heard
rid
it
of
was
it. I
good.
don't understand why. But when you did the party, it was in the launch bay, so they would like close off a section of the launch bay. They had all this stuff out
Oh.
there. The stormtroopers were walking around in there, and then they took you
Oh,
out
that's
front and you
cool.
watched the fireworks. And I thought it was great.
No,
I
that
really
sounds
liked
like a good
But
time.
that's a really unique experience. But for like
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom, I mean, we
it.
grew
Right.
up
If you're
going.
just
I
doing
grew
the
up.
happily ever after fireworks party like
Yeah.
Tomorrowland Terrace
I
restaurant, I don't know if that was.
I'm not paying for that. I come from an era where once upon a time that wasn't even a thing, and you could just go over there and hang out and watch the fireworks. And now it's like all roped off,
Well,
and you got
Yeah.
it monetized. So I
that was
feel
back in the
like
Michael
once you've
Eisner
seen the
era where
fireworks
everybody,
once, you've
you
seen
know,
them all. And once you've seen it once, just skip it in the future and go ride rides.
No, but wait a second. The question of the hour, Marvin, were the animatronics working in Tiana's? We have to know.
So they were. Well, first of all, let me just say, Ken Reinhardt dropping my catchphrase. People liked it, so it had to go with the Star Wars
True.
fireworks. But so the animatronics were working for the most part.
Mm.
Louis the alligator, his skin is still coming off rapidly.
Oh man.
The Mama Odie at the end, the mouth didn't move. The Mama Odie at the top of the drop, her arms didn't move. And the two Mama Odie screens, both before you plunge into the formerly known as the laughing place and before you rise up, neither of those worked.
Oh man.
But the ones in the laughing place, like the Fireflies and the Tiana and Lewis, like on the
The
screen,
FaceTime calls.
those did work.
I call it the
those were working.
FaceTime call. It's what it looks like.
The FaceTime call. Yeah, that was working.
Oh man. Well, at least you had fun and you had a good time.
I did. I had a good time. I had a good time with good friends. Would I do it again? Maybe. I would even say probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
All right, guys. Let's get on to our next story because we've got a whole lot more to talk about.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
The folks over at Yas Island, specifically the folks over at Miral, might have a huge tourism problem on their hands as British Airways has canceled all Abu Dhabi flights as regional instability is raising questions about safety in the area. What does this mean for this burgeoning tourism industry in the Middle East, specifically Disney's upcoming Abu Dhabi resort? Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, this was sent to me just yesterday. Our friend Caroline Reed of Forbes reached out to me and said, hey, I don't know if you saw this, British Airways is canceling all flights to Abu Dhabi. And they did. I looked into it, and they're suspended until later this year. According to the report, all British Airways flights to and from Abu Dhabi have been canceled until later this year. Routes to several other major regional destinations, including Amman, Bahrain, Doha, Dubai, and Tel Aviv, have also been suspended for the near future. And this is a tourism hub that has spent billions upon billions building itself into one of the world's premier vacation destinations. But all of that seems to have come at a terrible time for them, guys, because they are pulling the plug on, transportation to these attractions. And if British Airways is doing it, it's only a matter of time before the other airlines start doing it as well. Now, what's going on at Yas Island? Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, which is what you see. This massive thing right here is Ferrari World. So you got Ferrari World there. You've got Warner Brothers World Abu Dhabi. You've got SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. You've got Yas Water World. Yes. And you've got the Etihad Arena, which hosts major concerts and sporting events. So, guys, this is a huge deal for Yas Island. And if issues in the Middle East continue to sprout up like this, if this is not a quick thing, then we may be looking at major disruption to this up and coming tourism industry. But then the other point I would make about this is that these American companies are not feeling the financial pinch of that because they're only renting their license out. They're not actually paying to put these together. But Vash, huge issue for the people at Yas Island and morale here.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and we've seen all kinds of flight disruptions in this region of the world, also too in the United States, with all kinds of havoc being done with TSA and everything else, which is really unfortunate. But for this particular region of the world, it has certainly been affected by what is taking place. There's no question. But the tourism market in particular has taken quite the hit. Right? You have a lot of people who are, I think, still stuck in this region of the world right there. Can't get out. Can't get the proper flights necessary in order to move people as much as they were previously able to do. Dubai Airport being closed for an extended period of time, only letting out certain flights and so forth. There has been a big Financial Times article that was published not too long ago, I believe 2 days ago, intimating that perhaps, possibly, some of these leaders and officials that have been investing in American products and so forth in order to get more tourism or in multiple industries might be pulling back their investments. So what does that mean for morale? What does that mean for Disney's relationship with them? I'm not quite sure, but the tourism sector in this region of the world been unfortunately just really the perception of it has been affected, no doubt, but they have taken tremendous losses with having to cover people's expenses for the overstay that they actually had to incur for some of these people who are stuck there. Major tourist sites have been affected directly, and I can't really say much more than that on YouTube. It's just been a disaster. It's just been really bad. And I believe Marvin, I don't know if you covered this earlier in That Park Place coverage, but as you pointed out beautifully in your article that you published on the site right there, IAPA being affected as well, and the Themed Entertainment Association, both, I believe, canceling their events.
Yep. Yeah. TEA and IAPA both have when I'd written the article, IAPA was still dragging its feet. Has IAPA officially canceled it yet? Because last I had looked, they were still kind of ho-humming about it.
Yeah, they were kind of humming about it. I would be very shocked if they were still going forward with it. There
have been a lot of internal reports saying that the event is essentially canceled now behind the scenes,
right? Okay,
like fully. But yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be this was going to be a big deal for the folks over at Morale and in the UAE, because you were going to have major theme park events here. All the major players and shakers were going to converge on Yas Island, for these events. And now they can't. And culture, it has to make you wonder, what kind of future does tourism have in an area that kind of erupts into these major, issues? I'm trying to think of a YouTube friendly way to say it. These major global issues periodically.
Yeah. Geopolitically speaking, I think that if the goals of this current situation are resolved as planned, it'll create more stability and more comfort with traveling to this region. But that's a big if. You know, you have to get away from having this kind of volatility, and just like with the thing we're dealing with, all around the country and around the world, is the price of fuel, and that also factors into the amount of tourism that they could receive, not just the safety factor, but just the affordability factor. It's certainly not easy or cheap to travel to Abu Dhabi. And if your goal is to visit all these amazing, places to retreat, from your humdrum every day, morale is probably weeping over the fact that, it's going to cost more to get people to and fro and to host them, because a lot of things are brought in from outside. And, you don't just have to worry about the cost of oil and things like that, but the desalination required to support these massive areas of that most people don't think of. Every bit of water in this area, as far as I know, is desalinization processed. So, like I said, there's enormous factors involved in here that, again, I think will be cleared up with the activities of the current, but it's going to take them longer to develop everything they're doing. Because I guarantee you, there are no Disney people like there right now. I would have imagined the company would have followed the first evacuation suggestion. So,
MJ, I'd love to get the parental perspective on this here. I mean, if you're planning a trip, if there's even the possibility that something like this can happen, I mean, how does that put off any kind of planning that you might be doing for your family? I mean, you got to be thinking like, because with the Middle East, you kind of never know when these situations are going to suddenly pop off.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely take extra precaution, and I would probably hold off till the kiddos are old enough to handle that kind of travel. I know there's a lot of people that travel with little ones all over the world, but this part of the world, you got to think about it a couple of times. I would probably head to Japan before I head over here with the kids, to be honest with you. I don't see it happening while they're this young. Like I said, probably when they're like in their teens and they can kind of, think a little bit better, because they're counting on you right now because they're so young. And it's tough traveling with kids. Let's just face it. All those, especially the babies crying, and oh my God. So yeah, no, I would definitely think about it more than once. Would I be intrigued on visiting? Yes. The experiences in that whole place look really appealing to me, and I would love to be able to venture off that way one day, but I don't see it happening as far as for myself or the family at any time. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Erika, we have seen in the past that these operations that kind of take place in the Middle East, specifically when the United States does end up getting involved, we saw it in Iraq, we saw it in Afghanistan, they are typically not short campaigns. These typically go on for years and years. So do you think there's a possibility that this could extend long enough to the point where it actually impacts the opening of Disney's future in Abu Dhabi?
Ooh, I think culture touched really well on it. We have an administration that hopefully will clear this up faster than past administrations, and maybe they will see peacetime sooner than later. But we also only have the past to be our best predictor of the future. And, one thing I wanted to touch on is in terms of tourism in the Middle East, a lot of these places cater to more of the locals. There's not a whole lot of international tourism going into the Middle East. It's basically just to say, oh, look what we have. The locals go. If you do happen to travel to these places, you're literally on business. And we're talking people that are in the upper echelon of the financial world that have a lot of money, and they're just passing through on a layover. And that's if they even want to stop by a park like that because it's so hot all the time. And
that's an interesting perspective there, Erika, because I think you're correct on that. But one of the things that Bob Iger said when he first announced this was that, like, oh, well, we're so much closer in Abu Dhabi to like the majority of the world's population in all of these surrounding countries. But if the other countries aren't coming in, Vash, then what do you think, about that statement by Bob Iger? Was that just wishful thinking?
Yeah, the crossroads of the world, I believe you refer to this region, especially with the Dubai airport being a layover for so many international flights in this section of the world. Look, if a lot of people aren't visiting, that's no good. But I think they were. I think the idea was, okay, let's go ahead and make a lot of long-term investments now, and that way this kind of industry can grow for us in the future. I don't know where that trajectory is quite at this moment now, with that perception out there that, hey, you know, a hotel that you might be staying in might not be there the next day, kind of thing. Like it's just a little worrisome, I think, to international travels, that this region of the world has so many of these type of conflicts. That was one of the reasons behind the Abraham Accords, as we've covered on this show multiple times. It's like, look, if you want to build up your tourism industry, people have to know that you're safe. And so that means peace. Unfortunately, that did not take place here, obviously. And, it's just led to a lot of disruption, which is no good. And that's the thing. Like, we just had Six Flags, Qiddiya open recently with the world's largest coaster and so forth. And that park looks great, looks awesome. Now, what happens to that park? What happens to Universal's plans of bringing their own park to this region of the world, as has been speculated in the media for a little while now? It's just all of these things now in flux, maybe because of what's going on today.
Well, and you wonder, honestly, I don't think that American companies would have ever paid to have, I don't think Disney or SeaWorld or Warner Brothers or Ferrari would have ever put their own money up to do an attraction in this part of the world, because it cannot come as a surprise to anyone when the Middle East erupts into war, because it happens so often. It is one of the most unstable, areas on the planet. So it's really a Middle Eastern company that's assuming all the financial risk in this, that being Morale.
Yeah. And they're willing to do it. These countries we underestimate how rich they are. And in some areas, they extend stipends to their citizens and even cars. I'm talking like Land Rovers. And they have nothing but money to just do whatever they want with. And if they want to have a Disney named park, yeah, sure. They'll throw money at it and they'll get it. And they're fully aware of their own goings of that part of the region in the world, but they don't really care. They can afford to lose the money. They're like, whatever, that's what they want.
And then at the end of the day, what you've got is, a situation where these companies, I think, are trying to diversify because they don't want the bulk of their wealth coming from just oil anymore. They want to be able to have something else, because what happens if, if in the future, oil becomes more scarce, or we start to move away from fossil fuels, so I think it's an investment in the future, but it's all a matter of whether, this kind of industry has a future in that area. And right now, I mean, depending on how this goes, I mean, look, this could wrap up within a month without ever putting boots on the ground, and bing, bang, boom, no harm, no foul. Or this could extend for 10 years the way, like something like Iraq or Afghanistan did.
It's going to pass like a kidney stone.
Honestly, I lean more toward that. I lean more toward it's probably going to pass quickly, but I remember everybody thinking that Iraq was going to pass by quickly too.
I'm looking at the traveling over Asia is just booming right now with travelers, not only for their Disney parks, but the newest cruise ship that comes out of the Singapore port. And I was looking at these recent vlogs and the resorts over there and the accommodations. I mean, I'm like blown away, and people are just going, and they make it seem like it's not a big deal, but it kind of is to go to that part of the world. Asia's not that far from this place here that we're talking about. And I'm just like seeing all these, vloggers in Singapore and the accommodations they have. And I just think it's wild that the Adventure is sailing out of that port in Singapore. I can't really process why that port, but
well, I mean, it's always fascinating when you have these giant resorts in these other countries, like in Asia and whatnot, because like my wife's family is from the Philippines originally. My wife was born here, but her family's from the Philippines. And so like they go back every once in a while, and she tells me the resorts and the beaches are like gorgeous. But then like once you step outside that resort bubble, it's just like poverty.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Which is always like such a like. I know a guy who was involved with the WWE, and he was telling me about when they would go to Saudi Arabia to do these shows, and he was just like, man, he's like, they kind of don't even let you look at the other areas. They just kind of they took us from the airport right into Riyadh, and then like just it was the most lavish thing he's ever experienced, because there's just so much money in that region. So we'll see what happens as the what's going on in the world continues, and whether or not this specific area has got a future in the theme park industry. All right, we got a couple of super chats here. Eric Stratton coming in for $17.77. A strange amount. I didn't know you could give that. One penny away from it being super patriotic, though.
That's true.
Vash is now a night owl. Cool stream last night. Saw a cooking show with purple sweet potatoes last night on Bravo. They looked really weird. I'm assuming that, Vash, you weren't hosting the cooking show with the purple sweet potatoes.
No, I was not hosting the cooking show with the sweet potatoes. We decided to go live just based on that big news coming out of the Experiences division with Thomas Moslem. You can definitely check that out on Vashkai Podcast. Eric Stratton, thank you so much for tuning in right there. I've always really been a night owl by nature. Mornings, I don't know, I don't do so well. But last night we had a lot of fun going through some of those stories and more, which will continue after the show.
Absolutely. And we are going to be talking about that as our next story, by the way. What's going on with Disney Parks leadership. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle gifted one that Park Place membership. Thank you very much, Flying Blind. And congrats to whoever got that membership. And Texas 8412 for 5 says, want rare characters? Do the Walt Disney World Marathon. No.
I want to do it. I want to do the race, the one that you go, that you don't have to run. They let people even in wheelchairs or anybody that's like limping a little bit. They just want you to I think that's cool that Disney does that. I want to give that a go one day.
You have to maintain a specific pace though. Like they come and scoop you up if you don't you don't hit a certain pace. That's the thing that I was always worried about. Like I'd spend so much time trying to get character pictures.
That's true. Yeah, the characters.
I'm not like that guy in the Los Angeles Marathon who beat that Kenyan in that last second. Me running a marathon would be more like crawling a marathon. My brother-in-law
have a slow lane. Don't they have a slow lane and a fast lane, or no?
No, not really. I mean, from what I understand, like if you don't keep a certain pace, they like essentially scoop you up, and you're done. So,
get out of here.
Can't imagine paying all that money and then not complete.
Right? Oh man, I want my medal.
My brother-in-law does them.
Oh, he does? Does he like it?
Yeah, he loves them.
Oh, okay.
He really enjoys them.
He hangs up all his medals, at the end of the
I don't know if he hangs them up, but but he does them fairly often enough. So I typically have to get his pictures for him because I have the photo pass on my annual pass. So, all right. Well, our characters do the Walt Disney World Marathon. Yeah, I mean, look, the Walt Disney World Marathon, it is definitely good for rare characters. I don't know what kind of lines they get during the race. But yeah, I've never had the desire to do a Run Disney race.
I think you can do 16 minutes, 16-minute miles.
16-minute mile.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that seems to be what the chat believes is the minimum. I believe that too. Again, I have a sister-in-law that does the Run Disney stuff regular, or used to. I don't know if she's still doing it now, but it's an event that even my mom tried to participate in. So it definitely is. It is a run walk kind of thing. And
and see, Vitalia says there's somebody my family has dubbed the Balloon Lady.
Oh yeah,
if she passes you are out of the marathon.
I heard about that.
And Texas says 5K they won't sweep you.
Yeah, Erika, there's a lady literally pushing like a cart with balloons and something about what that comment is. I heard about that.
Chasing you the entire time and you're just like, no. I just picture all these people online for a character and they see the balloons like come up over the hill and they all have to scatter.
That's wild.
Because if you don't finish, you don't get the medal, right? Or do they still give you the medal anyway?
I don't know.
You paid the money.
All I know is that I was like, I'm not going to tax my body for a half a day missed at the parks.
Exactly. I'm with culture on that one. Like, nope. I'm good.
I tax my body other days. I don't need to do it for an extra medal here or there. But it's a big deal. Like I said, my sister-in-law's got a whole wall full of them. So
you get the medal if you finish or not.
Oh, nice.
Because at the end of the day, if you're spending that much money, look,
Yeah.
if I'm actually competing and I don't finish, yeah, fine, I don't get a medal. But like if I've paid that much money, you're giving me my participation trophy.
Right?
well, and yeah, but that's negative reinforcement, right? Because now the person's like, oh, I don't have to try for anything anymore.
Especially if it's like a rare one, the medal has like a really cool character that you really want, then it's worth it. That's my opinion.
No,
Yeah.
I can't. All I see is clutter when I see some things. Same thing with the pin trading. I can't get into that either. Nope.
All right. Well, let's see. We got 5 out of 20 super chats, so we're starting to see some participation in the chat.
We're getting there. Otherwise, no one's ever going to know our major tips for theme parks.
I don't know.
Man, there's so many. Holy cow. Where do we begin?
So what we
they closed the best bathrooms, by the way.
Culture with the bathroom.
Man, no, there are specific, there are legitimately very specific bathrooms where you're just kind of like yes and no. Like,
yeah.
and I hesitate to give my bathroom picks out on the air because I'm like, a lot of these are like hidden bathrooms that people don't know exist. And we have a couple, we can get 10,000 views on some of these videos. And I'm just like, I don't want 10,000 people knowing where my bathroom is.
Well, I think I would have to ask Vash, but are the bank bathrooms still available?
Well, yes, they are. Those are some of the best ones that you can get on Main Street right there.
Yeah, so you got to tip early. These are the kinds of tips you're going to get. Where to go
tell you which
potty.
bathrooms to definitely avoid. So there's the first bathroom on Main Street, USA, when you walk into Walt Disney World at Magic Kingdom. There's a bathroom off to the left over by City Hall. Under no circumstances. That bathroom is terrible.
And it's always crowded because it's like the first one.
It's the first one.
Bathroom, and it's so centrally located. So everybody immediately goes there. It's always wet and gross in there, and it smells
same way with Disneyland.
It's right next to the first. Is that next to the first aid or no? Am I crazy?
You got to find the
Pixie's Corner is the one with first aid. It's right over there.
The Studios Park had the best bank of bathrooms for a while because it was right tucked in by Lights Motors Action stunt, car show, and those bathrooms nobody went to. You could, as long as you got there before the last show, the last stunt show, those were fantastic because they were clean and empty and cold. Like if it's a hot day.
There are two. So first of all, I will say one that's kind of it's on the beaten path. I will give this one. The one in the American Pavilion at Epcot is very good. It's a very nice bathroom. It's clean. It's a little out of the way, but still it does see some traffic. But the way I see it, when you're going around World Showcase, sometimes you need the home field advantage. And so, the patriot in me is always just kind of I have to use the bathroom in America because
I always find that one to be not as well serviced, but that could have been just because of the cast member maintenance.
I like the American Pavilion restroom in Epcot. Because of the companion restroom. It's perfect for me with my situation and my daughter. I can take her with me. She's 7. You want to keep your little ones close to you. So that is a very nice restroom, the companion one over there.
We're giving away the tips. So you got to stop doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We can't help it.
Their own thing.
It's just built in us.
It is built in us.
No. If we were to do this as a segment, guys, there's only one name for it. I didn't create this name. I saw somebody else use it once, but I will. If we ever make this a segment, it will be called Zippity Poodah.
You know how bad? Hold on a second. I the other day I had an idea. I said, what can I do to make my own spirit jersey with the Zippity Doodah bird, Mr. Bluebird, and have on the back Zippity Doodah, and then have the little Mr. Bluebird here? How could I do that? I want a spirit jersey like that. They'll never make one because of the whole situation.
Keep checking Etsy.
Oh
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
Etsy,
Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it.
Yeah.
You just check Etsy.
That's
and
so
when you
true.
see something, make sure you buy it because then Disney Legal will go through and they'll just start
Oh.
sending takedown notices.
Cease and desist. Yeah.
They'll send the cease
Oh
and
my
desist. They'll
God.
screen cap everything, and then they'll make those designs and sell them in the parks themselves.
Even if it's zippity doo dah, they don't want nothing to do
Oh
with
no, no,
that
they own
anymore.
that. They own that. You can't use
Yeah,
it.
they don't care.
Goodness.
They own it. They're gonna be possessive over it, even
One-
if they don't like it
Terrible.
themselves.
You know,
Well-
one of the things that I bought online from like one of those like, third party places.
Yeah.
They were selling pass holder magnets of like various characters. I bought a Darkwing Duck one.
Oh, Darkwing Duck.
I was so
That's
excited. I
so
was like, "Oh, this
cool.
is great!" And I stupidly put it on my car.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it was
no.
totally stolen.
Gone within a week.
Oh man, people suck.
People
Ah.
do. I made the unfortunate, I made the unfortunate decision to, trust people and assume that people had morals. And no, they took it right off my car. And then when I went back to try to get a new one, Disney had shut down that shop.
Of course they did.
Great.
Yeah, it was.
That
I was so
sucks.
upset.
And I love Darkwing Duck too. I grew up watching that cartoon. It's so good.
There were a lot of places where they were making like custom like Magic Band wraps and
Mhm.
like things that you put in your Magic Band to kind of personalize them in ways that Disney would not.
Mhm.
Yeah. I use Etsy for Haunted Mansion stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I liked the snap locks for the Magic Bands that people were making out of metal. You could literally screw them on the back so that your little extra little like clip-in buttons and stuff wouldn't
That's
get
nice.
lost. Because I lost like one of my favorite like little clip-in Magic Band thingies, and I went and bought a set of those things, and it screws right into that plastic and holds it in place.
Man, I miss Magic Bands. I very rarely even wear mine anymore, just because
Isn't that sad? I miss mine too. I would wear
they
it.
want you to use your phone for everything now. Magic Band
Mhm.
Plus was kind of a dud.
Yeah.
Well, Jay had a Magic Band Plus the other night, and it was actually like lighting up with Pirates of the Caribbean when we were on it.
That's so cool. Ron has one too. It was lighting up with the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but it was so cool. He was like, "Look," and I'm like, "Whoa, yeah, it's fine." But I don't even, like you said, Marvin. I don't wear mine anymore either. It's like,
Well, ask yourself how much infrastructure and investment, time and money went into developing all of that they just
Yeah.
abandoned. And
Yeah.
and it's it's like, look, they install sensors and all, whether they be near field or wide arrays throughout the park so they could track guests via the Magic Band, and they invested in all that technology, and now it doesn't matter anymore.
It was very underwhelming compared to like Universal, where they got Harry Potter and everything's so interactive,
yeah.
And I mean like really interactive. And the Magic Bands just never delivered on that level of interaction. So it was just kind of a dud.
You're kind of right about that. I got my son the wand that you can interact. I only bought him. The little one didn't get it yet. I don't think she's old enough for that. That's another thing. I hate seeing parents buying these over extravagant stuff for their little kids. Like some little kids just don't need that. It's for older kids and adults. Like, I don't know. I have a problem with certain merchandise that little kids like. Some like over $50 or $100, like $80 wand. That shouldn't be in the hands of just any kid. I'm so sorry. It's expensive. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I don't know. But we did save our Magic Bands from way back. Remember when you used to book a trip and they would mail you a case and it had everybody's name engraved? I saved it. It's in the closet.
Yeah,
We never got those.
That was one of the things they stopped doing because fulfillment costs were too high. So if you have a box, save it, hang on
I
to it.
saved it. Yeah.
And then like I literally have 2 giant gallon-sized Ziploc bags full of Magic Bands.
That's so cool. The one
So
they mailed them to you before your trip?
I might start like giving them away. It's like handouts at events. Well, I mean, I'm never going to use them again, and they're no. You can only have X number of like Magic Bands tied to your account at any one time. So, and that removes, of course, all the entitlements, and then they could reuse them. But it's just it is what it is. So, and scrape my name from the back. But
All right, we got a couple more super chats
yeah.
to get to, guys.
sorry.
Stormweaver checking in says, "Hi, Marv, CC, Erika, MJ,
Oh my.
and Vash Sky.
Hey,
All the best to you, yours.
Stormweaver.
Thank you, Stormweaver.
But it is.
Yeah,
Thank you,
hold on.
Stormweaver.
Let me just make sure it's not going to skip out. Oh, and it did. Very good.
No, it can't be.
But it is Stormweaver.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stormweaver.
The cool clip.
All right. So I'm going to get to the rest of the super chats after our next story, because we got to get to that pretty quickly, because it's a huge story, guys. The entire makeup of the Disney C-suite is changing right before our eyes. We have entered the final week of Bob Iger's reign. Oh, yeah. And new reigns are just beginning.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Wolf.
You enjoy it.
We will.
It is the final week of Bob Iger as Disney CEO after a 20-year reign. Josh D'Amaro, the Parks and Experiences chairman, is set to take his place, becoming the new Disney CEO. But who replaces Josh D'Amaro? We've got the answers as to who was chosen and who was very much not chosen. And we're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, right here from thatparkplace.com, Disney promotes Thomas Maslum. Is that how you say it, Vash? Maslum or Maslum?
I've heard it both ways. I tend to say Thomas Maslum.
Well, Thomas Maslum will be leading the Parks and Experiences division as Josh D'Amaro prepares to become the CEO. And there you see him right there at Sleeping Beauty Castle. Disney confirmed that the president of Disneyland Resort will become the next chair of Disney Experiences, the division responsible for overseeing the company's global theme parks, cruise line operations, and consumer products. The move comes as current head of the division, Josh D'Amaro, prepares to step into the role of CEO on March the 18th. Now, leadership shift represents one of the most significant executive transitions inside Disney in recent years and signals the company's intention to keep the Experience Park leadership at the helm of its most profitable business segment. But guys, notably, who was not chosen for this is this guy right here, Jeff Vail, the president of Walt Disney World Resort. I think a lot of people thought that he might have been the next guy.
I certainly thought so. And I was really worried that he would be.
I had it on really good authority from a very trusted source that it was going to be Maslum. So I pretty much knew it was going to be him, but I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Jeff Vail. Vash, if you're Jeff Vail right now, I mean, what do you say to something like that? Like, how do you respond to something like that? Why do you think they passed him up in favor of Maslum?
Yeah, I suppose I was hearing word, with a variety of sources that Jeff Vail might have been approached previously and had declined it, at a point previous to this, or at least intimated that he didn't necessarily want the position. So I'm guessing it worked out from that perspective. If that is absolutely true, but it does kind of ring to me, for people who might not be unfamiliar, or maybe if that story is not true, that there's a little bit. The confidence, I suppose, has been shaken in your position if they didn't actually go with you. You would think that, coming from Disney's flagship resort, with so many cast members already under your belt, basically it's kind of like half the division almost, if not more. You would think you would just, get that next position right there. And that's why I was like, hey, Jeff Vail, he might be on the short list right here. Fortunately, not, which is good. But Thomas Maslum, coming up from behind the scenes to really make a mark at Disneyland, which he did with that media summit that just took place, and now taking the top position. I think we are better off for it. The question is whether or not this is going to be a continuation of the Josh D'Amaro regime, who he himself came from Walt Disney World as its president before, and what happens going forward.
Absolutely. So one could also make the argument that maybe things have been running a bit smoother at Disneyland the last few years than they've been running at Walt Disney World.
Yes, probably. I mean, there has been a real attention given towards maintenance and so forth, which is good. Unfortunately, we still have maintenance issues; those haven't been overcome. But I think what has been going on for the last few years, not so much in the most recent history with trees falling over and hazmat situations and all of that, but over the last couple of years, I think it has been run to the best extent possible, given the issues that have plagued this resort specifically. Again, they're still recovering from what actually happened over that 412-day closure, which is very, very unfortunate. But it looked like Maslum was dedicated to overcoming some of those issues. That's not to say that there hasn't been issues. There's been cuts to entertainment. There's been, issues relating to unionization and customer pay and all kinds of stuff. However, we don't seem to see like the sewer issues, let's say, at Walt Disney World. We don't see the black mold in some places, and very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. So Muslim, his previous roles include general manager of food and beverage of special events at Epcot, senior vice president of Walt Disney World operations, president of Disney Signature Experiences, and that role saw him oversee premium Disney vacation offerings, including Disney Cruise Line, Disney Vacation Club, Adventures by Disney, and Aulani. So he has a very long career. Culture, I wanted to talk about this for a second, because with him going, we now know that Jill Estorino has been named Disneyland president. She's currently the president and managing director of Disney Parks International. We will also see Tajia Filipados will become president of Disney Parks International, where she will oversee the company's theme park and resorts across Europe and Asia, along with future international expansion projects, including Dubai. And Lisa Baldzicki has been promoted to president of Disney Consumer Products, continuing the leadership reshuffle across the experiences division. Hey, Culture, you notice anything about all these people?
No. What?
Anything particular?
It's a lot of females.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of ladies. Yeah, again, the female centric nature of the modern leadership at Disney is it doesn't go unnoticed by even the most casual of observers.
Well,
but I'll say
what's weird
this.
is that they chose 3 ladies for the lower positions, but they stuck with a man for the top one. That I thought was like a little optics wise.
I think that's an investment in the future, Vash. I think that they could not have any of these ladies leapfrog both Muslim and Vale. So now they're setting the board so that the next time this happens, they can have a female head of the parks division.
Well, you're right, because of the way that the progression seems to go through parks and experiences. You're right. But it also creates a situation where they're reestablishing merit as a way to measure people's next challenge, let's say, next opportunity at promotion. And I think that speaks rather loudly. If only they had leadership in Imagineering and some other places, could I be a little more optimistic about the company. But do any of these ladies have what it takes beyond the desire to be the next Paul Pressler when it comes to the pathway to leadership? I don't know. I think observation's the only thing we have at this point.
I know practically nothing about Jill Estorino, but this made me laugh. Randy Thotos says Cruella to Jill. That made me laugh. Culture, would you say that there is a Muslim invasion of the Disney Parks and Experiences division going on right now?
I would say that very carefully, because of the but that was a good joke. I would say that as long as we don't return to a Disney park that's singularly focused on eking out every cent, then I'll feel better. I want anybody that's leading the park specifically to lead them back in a direction that makes them more customer value oriented, because they've gotten so far away from that and we've talked about it hundreds of times, with the elimination of all the perks that you used to get on these vacations, despite ever increasing ticket prices, resort fees, parking fees. I could go on and on. It's just a constant removal of value. And I would like for whoever the leadership is now to figure out a way to bring value back to a Disney vacation, especially for families.
The guy who sapped all the value out of it is now the CEO of the entire company.
I would say he got help from the previous CEO before he was
I don't know, man.
booted out for his rhino love, I guess. I don't know.
MJ, how much do you think who's actually running the Parks and Experiences division matters to the average Disney guest?
Oh, it tremendously matters. I'm with culture on that. I really hope that they revamp. We need a fresh up. We need to bring things back to how they were. It's extremely important, especially when you're traveling as a large group, a family, or you and a group of friends, and you're, coming in from another state. You're making plans. This is huge. It's everything. You're paying for an experience, not just rides. And I really think they need to hyper focus on all of those qualities to make this to get their reputation back in order. I mean, their reputation has gone downhill so far down. They know that. They have to be aware of that. And hopefully they're listening to wonderful channels like this, because we're the ones that, have been going since we were kids. Our parents went as children and our grandparents, etc. The list goes on and on. It's generations of good people paying hard-earned money to go to these parks, to enjoy, to be immersed in storytelling. So they really need to get it together and give us what we deserve.
Erika, what are the changes that you're hoping to see new Disney Experiences leadership implement company-wide?
I hope they revamp their hotel perks, bring back those extra magic hours that they used to have for all resort guests. Make it to where when you're booking a vacation, you want to book a vacation in the bubble. But right now, I've been advising friends and family, it's not worth it. Just get a Airbnb off property. The incentives just are not there to stay on property anymore. They really need to figure that one out if they want vacationers if they want that level of tourism back in the parks and in the bubble, they need to figure it out right there.
Especially given that Thomas Maslin comes from Signature Experiences and the hotel divisions and so forth. I think he managed over 31 hotels when he was, I believe, vice president of operations at Walt Disney World. So you would think with that kind of hotel focus that they would implement some of those things back. Unfortunately, Erika, when Thomas Maslin was in the role, they eliminated Magic Morning from Disneyland, which is like, that's no good right there.
Another thing
honestly, there's a level of expectation now, I think, from people that stay at the deluxe resorts, because they're the only ones that get anything anymore at Walt Disney World. Like when I was at After Hours, there was a family there that was livid that they couldn't stay for the After Hours event because they're staying at a deluxe resort. They thought that entitled them to the After Hours event as if it were extra magic hours, and it had to be explained to them that they couldn't stay. So I mean,
and that harkens back. They were probably a family that had vacationed there years ago before these changes, and they probably just forgot to get in the know of what be updated. And they got there and they got slapped in the face with a cold rag, and it sucks, and you're spending more now than we were pre-pandemic. Right. And these perks are they stripped away those perks, and now they're monetizing on them. And now I just recently heard, you can get this free dining plan right now. But you have to meet the criteria, and the criteria is it's only for those Visa card members. I guess if you've got a Chase Visa card, you can get a free dining plan on your vacation. It's like, okay, you guys need to stop doing that kind of stuff, because it doesn't make anybody want to book with you head to toe. I'm talking hotel, tickets, food, everything. They're going to Universal because they offer all inclusivity without the constant nickel and diming.
Yeah,
agreed.
I mean, the decisions made at the upper echelon of the experiences division is so crucial, right? Because they set the budgets for all of these resorts worldwide, what they can actually do with their entertainment programs, what they can actually do for guests on a regular basis. They also set the initiatives. So like for those extra cost items right there, remember Josh D'Amaro brought all of those things out during his tenure, like lightning lanes, for example, and getting rid of perks and so forth. That all happens under him. I understand maybe other people make some of those decisions on the resort level, but that initiative, that kind of push to, okay, let's go ahead and monetize these parks, that all comes from the top down. And some people have been saying to me like, oh, well, that's Chapek was in that role and so forth in terms of the CEO, right? And maybe he was pushing all of this, but it's like, yeah, okay, but he's gone and those initiatives are still in place. What does that say about that's the thing. Bob Chapek as opposed to Josh D'Amaro?
When Bob Iger came back to supposedly save the company, He didn't undo any of the things that supposedly ruined the company that caused him to
No, he
actually
didn't.
finish.
Exactly.
It got worse.
Exactly.
But the initiatives were look. This ball all started to roll back in 2013. Actually, before that, they spent nearly $2 billion with NGE, which was designed to do everything that we're talking about now. Eventually, I knew we were going to go to pay-to-play fast passes, which was the biggest fear going into this conversation about the Magic Bands and everything else. This is not a new conversation we're having. The ball was rolling under, the two media partners that left and came back to consult, the Candle Media guys. So, like those guys or not, Staggs and Meyer, like them or not, but they were some of the people that ushered this in and spent enormous amounts of capital to do it. So
yeah, it might just be an institutional mindset as culture brings out here that just gets passed down from experiences head to experiences head. I mean, Thomas Muslim, we're hoping for some improvement on this level, but it might be part of the institution, as it were, part of the culture of this whole kind of mindset where it's like we get to extract every single dollar out of guests and provide them nothing in return.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, this is it's a whole new era. In the Disney company. I mean, this is the final week of Bob Iger. We are in the last 7 days of Bob Iger as CEO until he inevitably comes back in 6 to 8 months.
True.
But this could be the start of something very new, or it could just be more of the same. We're gonna find out. All right, let's take a look at what you guys have to say out there in the chat before we get into our final story, which is about Disney attendance. That's going to be a fascinating one to get into here, guys. Let me just, my computer is going a little bit slow. All right, here we go. Chef Eddie, member for 7 months, says, don't use the bathrooms next to the blue milk stand. Yes.
Oh.
Interesting.
Don't ever do that, especially once they get rid of the blue milk for the pink, or the green milk for the pink. Packing Protons for $5 says, Marvin was at Disney the other day and now suddenly the Hazmat team shows up. What did you do?
Oh.
I was at Disney World, not Disneyland. So I did not be blamed for this.
Wilton did it.
Wilton's in Canada. He didn't do it. The first Dragon Queen for $5 is Culture's package in AZ. I really hope you enjoy everything inside. Hugs for all.
Oh, nice.
I will be I'll be able to check the PO box mañana, so maybe Friday. Yeah, maybe Friday. Friday we'll do an unboxing of that, along with some other things I need to unbox. You guys are so very kind and generous, and
maybe some
I'm very grateful. Say again?
Maybe some lemon heads in there?
In the PO box? No, I just go down to the store and
where are my lemon heads?
I know. Okay, Nate.
It's been an ongoing joke on the HCast, guys. Culture has said he's gonna send Nate these candies that he loves called lemon heads.
I have this.
These are old school.
These are lemon head ropes.
Really? I loved lemon heads when I was a kid growing up. They were so good.
My mouth is watering.
And then by the time he gets to the mailbox, he's eaten them all.
I've eaten them all. That's why I have a problem. I buy the 5-pound bags. And then I don't know what it is. It's like the only sweet that I truly enjoy. Like I don't drink soda and I don't sweeten my tea or any of that other stuff. I don't eat candy otherwise, and maybe dark chocolate. That's about it. But I don't eat sweetened dark chocolate. So, but like I said, lemon heads are it. I grew up with them. They're a movie snack for me. So yeah, they're good stuff.
Are they like Jolly Ranchers? Like I've never had them.
No, they're way better than a Jolly Rancher. They have the right amount of lemon.
Hard candies, or are they?
Yeah, hard candy. Yeah, yeah, the right amount of a lemony flavor and just a little sweet and sour. They're delicious. Look, Vash knows what I'm talking about. He's nodding his head. He's
yeah. Well, I'm listening to the diatribe on candy right now, and I'm fascinated because we've had this conversation before with Culture. He's so opinionated about the stuff. I just get entranced.
Well, I don't normally eat sweets. So not a fan. Go ahead.
He's like gets a 5-pound bag, and by the time he puts it, by the time he walks to the door, it's a 4-pound bag. By the time he gets outside, it's a 3-pound bag. By the time he gets to the mailbox, it's an empty bag.
Wow. Oh man.
Back in Protons for $5 is Abu Dhabi coaster ride of. Yep, that's the thing.
Okay.
I gotta start reading these before I read them. First Dragon Queen for $2. I'm like Ron Burgundy with the
Yeah.
with the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Judge me, MJ. I went to get my Chopper plush.
Wait, who's Chopper?
Chopper's a droid on Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, I don't judge you. I think that's what I was saying, that adults are the ones that need the big toys that are expensive, not the kiddos. That's my girl. I'm glad you got your Chopper plush. Yes, absolutely.
Stormweaver for $5 says Disney has fallen into the abyss.
Yeah.
The Josh D'Amaro abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Reinhardt for $2 says, will Tom make them redesign Villains Land again?
Yeah, geez.
Nobody's redesigned Villains Land, guys. It's not happening.
Man, can I just say how ugly like the renders were? They were just too vague, and they're like the sorry excuse that we got, when they were trying to tell us there was going to be an Avatar thing at Disneyland, or when they were trying to pretend like they might eventually, develop Animal Kingdom the way it was originally intended. Or, the problem with the modern visualizations is that they are vague enough to be so incomplete that you can't hold them to anything.
Culture, did you hear about the joke I made with the concept art for Villains Land? It looks like Bob Ross got his paintbrush and went, okay, we'll just put a little bit here and a little bit here. And there's literally people walking in the middle of the water in those concept art. We're not having that. It's not happening. That's not what we're getting.
I like happy little trees. There's nothing wrong with happy.
That's what happy little mountains.
Oh, but First Dragon Queen says, no, it's Chopper from One Piece.
Oh, I'm not familiar with One Piece at all.
I'm watching the live action right now. I'm rewatching the first season before I should be able to dive into the second season today, and I'm very excited to.
I need you to write a review that encourages me to go into season 2.
The first season was phenomenal.
It was good.
I remember there's Roronoa Zoro's backstory involved him training with another student who's female from when they were kids, and she was way better with the sword than he was and was whooping on him. And there was actually a realistic bit of dialogue between them that I actually appreciated, that you don't ever see in media, where he was just yeah, you're so much better than me. And she goes, yeah, I am now, but we're going to get older and you're going to get bigger and you're going to get stronger and your arms are going to get longer than mine. And she was basically talking about the biological differences between men and women when it comes to things like combat. So I thought that was really, really cool. Archer Merchant for 10, joining late, but had to inform some of the cast members about the exposure. If one of the responses was true, it's not the first time they've had issues with contractors. Cheaper bids don't mean better.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Which has been an ongoing theme, by the way, at Disney, where it's just they get the cheapest people they could possibly get, and sometimes it's no good.
Well, and again, it used to be, again, when they had full control, especially in Florida, of the district.
Yes.
They limited it to their own construction companies, and everything they were doing was just done by them because they just took their own contracts, so they could guarantee what work was going to be done, and they could balance it out across the spreadsheet. In California, it's a lot less. It's whatever's the cheapest bid, as Vash was saying, and sometimes that's not the best plan.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing that I call the triangle of labor. And so you have 3 sides, right? You have cheap, fast, and good. You can only have 2 of the 3. If it's cheap and it's fast, it's not good. If it's good and it's cheap, it's not fast. If it's good and it's fast, it's not cheap. So, that's, you can have 2 out of the 3. Mm-hmm. And, when you are, when you work as a writer, I've had to have that conversation with many clients in the past. Listen, you can have this faster, but you're going to pay for it. So First Dragon Queen for $5. I'm reviewing season 2. Might even put up my pirate next week for it. Oh, that's fantastic. Looking forward to that review. Speaking of pirates, guys, I am very excited because I believe I should be getting my copy of Daughter's Revenge by the one and only Drunk 3PO and X-Wing 5 this week. I believe that has shipped because they're trying to get them out in time for MegaCon. So I've got that coming, and my Geeks and Gamers swag, which is going to be the MegaCon meetup T-shirt and the Cobracast hoodie. So I'm very excited for that. But I will also say one of the things to I don't know how. Hold on. How do you? What the?
It's the Brady Bunch.
I'm trying to figure out
That's
how Pro
weird.
did that. Where he made them.
Here's the story of a guy named Vash.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to do it like this, and because I don't know how to switch it. I don't know how it switched back, but
Just reminded me of the Brady Bunch.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to
shut
make
up.
the big squares like we had before.
Like that.
Layouts.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Oh.
Thank
Okay.
you, Roger.
Welcome
I don't know how you
in.
did that. Oh, yeah. I still don't see how you.
Oh,
do
I
that.
can see your shirt better now. You're wearing your Mario. Is that Donkey Kong?
It is Donkey Kong. Yeah, I got this at
I love
Universal
that.
Epic Universe.
I love that
I
so
am
much.
going back to Epic Universe soon because I want to see all the stuff that they have for Mario Galaxy movie. But one thing that I wanted to kind of promote here, MegaCon is next week. And I do have some news. Lauren Connor and I will be at a booth at MegaCon on the
Yay!
Friday
How
from
exciting.
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I will have that actual booth information for you guys next week.
Very
I'll
cool.
tell
I
you,
could be
I'll tell you
there.
which booth it is. I know it's going to be in the community zone. So I'm going to make like a whole thing for it. So Lauren and I will be there. You can come up. We're not going to be selling anything. We're just kind of there to hang out and talk to you guys
Nice.
and meet you, shake some hands, and
Nice.
maybe I'll try to get some like 8x10s that we can just sign to hand out or whatever. But we're not going to like sell anything. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it should be fun. MegaCon this year is going to be a blast. Geeks and Gamers has its panel on Saturday morning.
Mm.
And then the Geeks and Gamers meetup is going to be at Pat O'Brien's on Universal City Walk, which you can RSVP for now over at geeksandgamers.com that night at 7 p.m. I'll be there. Lauren will be there. I believe some other people from our organization will be there, though you might not know who they are when you see them. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be, and of course, the whole Geeks and Gamers crew are going to be there too. So that's going to be a fun night. It was really fun last year. Last year it was at what was it last year? Culture, the Red Coconut.
The Red Coconut, yeah.
Yeah,
Also on City Walk, it means it's easy to park. It's easy
I
to
just ended up
park.
hanging out on the on the upper floor with Echo Base Network the whole night.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, Nick. It was wonderful last year. I wish I were going to be there this
I
year.
wish you were going too. I had our
Yeah.
sushi destination all picked out. So.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to be traveling.
I
let's say.
understand.
Yeah.
Well, when you are, we've got sushi already picked out. All right, guys.
Okay.
Oh, apparently the meetup is full. The meetup has sold out.
Oh,
Whoa.
Last I had
That's-
heard, there were still 50. There were like 50 spots left. But I guess they filled
It's
up.
not surprising, and I would still encourage you to visit the area because most of the time, especially this time of the year, people will wander outside of the
Yeah,
event.
and yeah, you might be able to meet us outside or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
meet me outside.
cash me outside. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
I have a funny story about that, but that's for another day.
That's for another day. All right, we have got one more story to get to today, and it is about attendance at the Disney parks and what's going on for 2026.
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
Attendance at Disney parks has been a hot button issue for the last couple of years. We've seen summertime attendance drop to record lows last year. And the question on everybody's mind is, are we going to see a repeat performance in 2026? We're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. All right, guys. So here you see this thrill data report here, this graph. And I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger so I can properly illustrate my point here. So last year, obviously, we saw some really low. What is happening? What is happening right now?
Oh, those pesky ads. Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's like a full page ad, though.
I know, it's ridiculous. So we saw things like September very, very low in 2025. We saw
You
August.
have a plane on the screen, or you did.
Really.
Yeah.
happening. Is that better?
Yes, no black box.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we saw September really low. We saw August really low. July was pretty low, and June. So you saw the summer as the summer progressed. June, July, August. Let's take a look at what 2026 is doing so far. So you have January of 2026. You had about a 32-minute average wait time. Compare that to January of 2024, where it was a good Lord, this thing. 35 minutes. So 35 versus 32. Looks like we had a slower January in 2026 than we had in 2025. Look over here, February, 36 minutes. And that is up from 2026. So, but again, they're all kind of in the same range. And so far, we have about 31 minutes average wait time in March. And if you look over here, the average wait time is 36 minutes. So a lot of baseball still to be played yet in March. But see, have a look at this. So you see, we always point to this, like these were the pre-pandemic numbers, and everything is, pink and red, and you had that one, September where it was down here and then it shot right back up, right? Then the dark times happen.
Yeah.
Then we come back and we're here, and then it goes back up, and then it goes back down. And it's been slowly going back down since 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So guys, it looks like if this pattern is going to continue, 2026 is going to be a lot like what 2025 and 2024 were in terms of crowds. Here you see some footage that we took at Walt Disney World. This was either on Memorial Day or the 4th of July, because I know this is the footage that I took. And it was not doing much in the mornings during that time. Culture, what do you think we're going to see? Like, what would you predict we're going to see in terms of attendance for 2026?
See, I'm reluctant always to tie attendance to wait times, because there are so many various factors going into it. I think you're naturally going to have wait times up because everything's still under construction. So I think there's going to be some artificial inflation of wait times across all the parks in Florida specifically. At the same time, I think it's a good indicator, like a crowd calendar or something that you'd find over on Len Testa's site or whatnot. But I do think again, as we've highlighted the lack of value from the Disney company, I think people are giving it a pass, giving it a miss, and if they have to vacation, they're vacationing elsewhere. And I think that outside of the resorts, continuing to be about halfway to 3/4 of the way occupied, I think that you're going to see. I think you're going to see more of those visitors not going to the park specifically, but either going to the free shopping options and the Disney Springs restaurants instead. Going to check out SeaWorld maybe because they haven't been there in a while, or Legoland, or Universal, of course. Which, as you know, how do you get into Epic Universe right now?
How do you get into Epic Universe?
I mean, it's this summer. It's basically, I mean, starting from Super Mario, aren't you going to be a little bit limited?
There are days that are sold out.
But there's a strategy behind that really quick, Culture, with Epic. They have a strategy with Universal. They want you to buy the 3-day ticket. They want you to go to Universal Studios, Islands, and Epic, because there's more availability for that on the calendar than just purchasing a 1-day ticket for Epic. And I will continue to use that word. It is a strategy, and they're doing it. And they are also have a lot of specials where you could bundle your hotel stay, saving a lot of money, like $200 to $300 if you get your tickets and your hotel, with the Helios or the Terra
Luna or Stella Nova.
Yeah, exactly. They have those big promotions going on, but that's the strategy, Culture.
Understood. I'm just saying
that's where I was sitting, where I smelled the bathroom. Just
oh boy,
that's it.
Continue.
No, I was just saying, like I said, I'm hesitant to tie it to wait times, but I'll just say I think that Disney's got a problem. The wait times will probably rise because there's less attractions open, and I don't think that's going away. I think it's a strategy. Disney's trying to capitalize on what exists, and for what they're replacing, removing, and redeveloping, I think they're gonna take less concentrated capital expenses and apply them throughout the parks. I think the experiences over the years are going to deteriorate from where we used to enjoy nearly everything. I think there's going to be less. I mean, that's seems to be the strategy and modern mindset of these spreadsheets that that these guys create. You got the overeducated spreadsheet monsters are taking over. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, now I will say one thing before I get Erika's opinion on this. I will tell you guys, we have it on good authority that Disney has been rolling out a lot of these promotions. We've talked about them here quite a bit for the summertime because they're worried about summertime attendance. It's looking like they might be offering Florida resident type pricing to Georgia residents this summer.
I've heard about that.
That might be rolling out. So
because Universal does that.
Yeah, Erika, what do you think about that kind of strategy? Do you think something like that could help them actually boost attendance for the summer?
Long overdue. They should have been doing that years ago, honestly. If Universal extends, Georgia, Florida, perks, it's not going to hurt Disney to compete with that, or if they wanted to do Alabama and Florida or South Carolina, whatever, there's room for competition always, but I know I'd rather be at Universal because my money goes further.
Yeah.
As much as I nostalgically and love Disney, and we have a lot of memories there. But financially speaking, it just makes more sense to go to a totally different vacation than just Disney, and it doesn't have to be a theme park.
Absolutely.
It's just it sucks knowing that at some point we're going back to the States and we are going to be in that category now of those out-of-state tourists, and we're not going to be Florida residents. We're not going to have family working in the parks. We don't, although all that gravy train is gone, and I have to rethink. If we want to do Disney, we're really going to have to plan way in advance and really save money.
MJ, I want to go to you real quick because I know you have to leave. So you want to give your opinion on this and then drop your Instagram handle and then head out before we go to Vash. So MJ, what do you think is contributing to the overall loss in attendance?
The faith in the company, people are very discouraged, and the company has let them down in many ways, not just the theme parks themselves, but in the films that they keep putting out. And then the way, let's face it, the way that they treat people that need access to the rides, the DAS system has not been kind to those who really need it. It's just putting a bitter taste in their mouth. It's everything. The deluxe resort perks, the amenities are there, but the perks that they used to have are not. And it's just everything in one. But like, if you're a diehard fan, it's like an addiction. You can't stay away from it, right? You just got it calls you. It calls me, so I go, right? It's just like, I keep going. I love being there. I love being in the bubble. I love everything about the parks because of my childhood growing up. I don't think I can stop going. I probably won't stop going. I will be cautious when I go. And I do have a big, big soft spot for Universal. And that's coming up soon for our family. We like both, but I just grew up, I'm a Disney kid by all means. But anyway, that's just the reason why you will still see the attendance where it is. But I think that people just got a bad taste in their mouth with everything that's been happening from the corporate level to the stays at the resorts and everything, the DAS, all of that. So that's just my opinion. Yeah.
MJ, I know you got to head out. So let us know where we can find you real quick. And then, we got to wrap the show.
Yes. Thank you, good sir. Marvin, it's been a pleasure being here with you guys. Culture, Erika, Vash. I am on Instagram and X. It's really easy to find me, and I love being here on That Park Place, Vash Sky Parkcast, and Brood Banter with Erika and Raph. I'm also on Follow the Bradley's Fun on the Dish. and probably some more places coming up. Maybe Culture with Campione, his Campione, I forget what it's called. Sorry.
Campione reacts. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too. I
Cool.
really am. So
Cool. So it's
Oh,
just,
and real quick, First Dragon Queen is showing you what Chopper looks like.
oh, okay.
There you go.
I'm gonna look it up,
Nice.
so I'll find it.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone. God bless everybody. Stay
All right,
safe.
see you, MJ. Now, Vash Guy, I know you've got to get going over to your show as well, so I want to get your opinions real quick before you
Yes.
have to bounce out. So
Yeah.
do you think that this is going to mostly stay the same this year? Do you think we're going to see another step downward with Epic Universe now in its first full year? Or do you think we might actually see Disney parks start to rebound a bit now that Epic has already been out for a while?
I mean, the only reason why these parks would rebound at all is, significant discounting. Targeted discounts in multiple regions, I think, is a good idea. It really should have been implemented some time ago, as Erika pointed out. But I would expand it to like maybe Pennsylvania and some of the other big markets for Disney. That way, you can maintain maybe international pricing, but provide a little bit of a discount to various areas of the country that you want to actually come down and improve. The problem, though, is that I don't see this situation improving any other way, simply due to the fact that there's a lot of construction at Walt Disney World right now, and everybody knows it, right? Everybody sees all the walls, everybody sees everything closed, and nobody wants to go to a park, especially for the price points actually provided, if things aren't fully up and running. So I think that's going to be a hurdle that they have to overcome. At Disneyland, this is why I included footage in this roll right here. We're seeing similar things actually happen, and Disneyland actually just increased the amount of discounts that they actually provide, not just for Southern California residents, but all of California residents, which is very, very interesting that they would actually do something like that. So we're just seeing attrition at a lot of these levels at Disney right now, and I have to think that some of the decisions that they've made have put them in this position. Not just the lack of investment, but also too the price gouging and the lack of value. It would have been great to see Disney kind of augment a lot of what they were doing at these parks with a full plethora of entertainment options. That way, you just don't have like one electrical parade, for example, over there at Magic Kingdom, which I can't remember the name of. Why can't it's like the most immemorable name for some reason. But you could have really provided new entertainment offerings to all these parks in the interim before these things actually open up, like these new investments like Monsters Inc. Land, for example, Cars Land, Villains Land, etc. So it's just a lot of not great short-term decisions getting them to this point.
Right. Absolutely. Vash Sky, I know you have to head out, so why don't you plug your wares real quick and then head over there, and we'll send the audience over to you momentarily.
Thanks so much, Marvin. Very much appreciate that. Yeah, just keep on watching right here, and we're going to have Vash Guy Parkcast coming up right to you in a couple of minutes. Very, very cool stuff. Thank you so much, Marvin, for hosting Culture Casino. Erika, thank you so much for for letting me be a part of it, and for the interaction. Awesome stuff, Culture. You're very well invited if you have time right there. I know Erika's going to be over there. Very, very cool stuff. We're going to be talking about all kinds of great stories, like Disney Adventure, for example. That has not been going well. Paramount, Warner Brothers getting into the theme park business. Oh, yes, folks. It might be a thing. So definitely check us out over there at Vash Guy Parkcast coming up in just a moment. Thank you so much, Marvin. We'll see you later.
Now, Vash, before you go, I know you got to go real fast. One tip for the theme park lovers out there, because I think we're one super chat from the goal, and we want to get your thoughts on it. What's one super cool tip for people going to theme parks that only you know?
One super cool tip for going to theme parks that only I know. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let's see. You know what? If you're going to Disneyland, especially with those later evening hours, better to go a little bit later than early. A lot of people like to hit those parks as early as they possibly can, but I found that the nighttime is simply magical. And if you get it late enough, well, you can have a lot of those like morning type queues and lines and waits and so forth, but at a better part of the day, at least in my opinion. That's the tip I would have.
Really great suggestion. Folks, hang tight. You're going to go see Vash Guy in just a minute.
Thank you, Pro. We will see you all later.
All right, let's get some of these super chats here. Welcome, Pro. Welcome. I assume you're here to offer some theme park tips as well. But
I am. We are $1,499 super chat goal away from the goal. Folks are saying out there, the goal ended. Ladies and gentlemen, we tell the goal when to end when it's time to end. We don't begin to take rules from YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Archer Merchant for $5 says, any plans past MegaCon in California? Perhaps sadly couldn't get time off work, or maybe LA Comic-Con, San Diego. We are working on stuff like that. It is all being talked about behind the scenes, right, bro?
Yes. We have. We'll see about an announcement on MegaCon. We're not sure about that yet. And
we are sure about that now. On Friday, it appears that Lauren and I will be able to meet and greet from 11 to 2.
11 to 2 p.m. Oh, that's excellent. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., folks. On the Friday of MegaCon, stop on by and see Marvin, Lauren, and there might be one more. We'll find out soon.
We'll be in the community section, and I will have a graphic with a booth number for you guys before the con. So that will be
phenomenal. And look at this, we just did it, folks. Rachel Ferguson comes in with $4.99. Go! That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for helping us cross that. And it's all because of all of you. How kind, truly.
Yes.
So first Dragon Queen for 2 says, so MJ can see Chopper, and there he is. Yes, Chopper in season 2 of One Piece, which I'm hopefully going to start watching today.
I got a message from Real Life Fake Wizard, says it's phenomenal.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Pro for $4.99 said 5 because we had 5 to the goal at that point. WJB Daily for 5 says Walt Disney World Summer 2026 less than Walt Disney World Summer 2025 due to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Eric Stratton says 4. Archer Merchant says, I've seen zero hype for Soaring Over USA, even with the shills.
Yeah.
In the past, they would have been hyping it. Oh my gosh, can't wait to type TikToks, etc. I forgot about Soaring Over USA.
Me too. Did it start? Did they
already May 26th, I think, is when it starts.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why we haven't heard anything yet.
Stuff about it soon.
Guys, can I hijack this for just like 30 seconds? I know we got to wrap, but I'm laughing in my studio. For whatever reason, on my right monitor, I've got a monitor over here in the right corner that you got to look out of your peripheral to see it. But so I turn my head, and I've had on the screen over here that there's this YouTube channel that's been showing these baby owls. Okay? Yeah, like a webcam over this nest of baby owls. And this is the magic of YouTube. So people are watching. It's growing and growing. I thought about covering it because of how ridiculous the numbers have gotten. I'm telling you, I'm laughing. The mama owl brought a dying baby bunny to the owl nest. What? And it has turned into some sort of gruesome horror film. And all the people who've been watching the baby owls, like, they're so cute. No, they're like covered in the guts. Man. Covered in the guts and blood of a baby bird, or baby bunny. And now it's so awful.
I didn't know they ate stuff like that.
Unfortunately, Erika, they do, and slowly.
They're prey birds.
Mice alive and then spit out the bones. Like,
can you imagine all the kindergartens that have had this on, showing the little kids, and now it's time for the counselor to make their money. It's trauma time, baby.
Eric Stratton for 5 says, I told you I would be a drunken sailor.
It's just
thank you.
It's so funny to see the mama owl drop off the dying rabbit and all the comments that start coming in of crying emojis.
Seabrew for $2. Orlando is calling 1 week till MegaCon. Hopefully we meet you, Seabrew. It'd be good. Drop by and see me and Lauren.
Absolutely. Marvin, do you know the name of, or do you know the number for the booth, or how people can find it exactly?
I don't have it. You know what? Maybe hold on.
We'll get it out there. We'll get it out there on the Pro Channel and all of that.
I'll have a graphic and everything for it, but I believe from what I have seen, it is booth number CZ1018.
Okay. Well, we'll get that info out there for you folks, and we'll be advertising that all the rest of the week and next week too. By the way, MegaCon is coming along with the Disney shareholders meeting. Man, the news that we're about to be covering, and Project Hail Mario. Wow.
So much. Rachel Ferguson for $4.99 says goal. She put us past the goal. Thank you very much, Rachel Ferguson. Stormweaver for $5 Canadian says hi, WW Pro.
Stormweaver. Thank you, Stormweaver.
And the first Dragon Queen for $5 says, "Shh, I'm on it. You spoil it, bro. I will commit all of piracy till Tuesday."
I will not tell you what happens in One Piece season 2, but I will tell you that there's half a rabbit left in the owl nest, where before everybody
Now
was.
I want to see this just because I have a morbid sense of, I don't know, intrigue, interest. I don't know.
The flies are beginning to gather. It's so terrible. It's so terrible.
Just to answer Seabrew's question, no, we're not going to be with the G&G. I mean, we'll be with them throughout the con, and we'll be with them at the meetup on Saturday night, but we won't be at the booth with them. They're at the Rippaverse booth, and so I got us booth space in the community center through a friend of mine. So we're going to be at a different booth than they are.
Yep, but G&G will be around there as well, and I've asked Jeremy if I can.
They just put out their entire con schedule.
Yeah, I told Jeremy I'd like to be in charge of security since I am unknown. I can be hiding in the shadows.
Only the shadow.
I'm pretty sure they've already got Cole Hauser on that. So unless
Cole Hauser's enormous.
Hauser's going to sit there like this. No one's doing anything.
Yeah. There's a reason that he's
at Disneyland when I was walking around with Cole Hauser the other day.
Yeah. There's a reason that he's a real American hero.
Real American hero.
Yeah, from Canada.
Yeah.
So.
Real Canadian hero.
He was wearing a G.I. Joe shirt too when we were in that.
Erica, did you find the half rabbit yet?
Oh,
I know you're looking for it. I can see it in your eyes. You are on it. You're like, where are these baby owls? Where's this giant live stream? The live stream, by the way, the owls have seen like a 70% drop in their viewership.
Oh, I bet.
After the rabbit arrived.
What is the name of the channel?
I'm
I'm going nuts
seeing a 70%
here.
decrease in my workday since we've started talking.
Hang
about
on a second. Let me see if I can pull it up. Which remote goes to this monitor over here?
All right.
Live owl camera S6.
Okay.
All right. Guys, we got to go. We got to get out of here. I've held Marv over longer than he needs to be here.
Park tips.
Theme park tips. Marv, go. You take it first.
All right. I'm going to give you two since MJ had to leave. Number one is bring a small Tupperware container in your bag, because they sometimes a lot of these places you're paying a lot of money for food, and they give you large portions, and you don't want to eat till you're stuffed, because then walking around the theme parks is going to be a painful experience for you. So I always say eat a little bit, put the leftover in the little Tupperware, put it back in your bag. Maybe if you've got one of those cooler backpacks and you have a little ice pack in there, that helps. That also helps really well, and then you've got something for later. And then the other tip I was going to give. In Magic Kingdom, the best place that you could actually get a nice quiet lunch is go to Columbia Harbor House to the second floor. Upstairs, and that's where you the second floor,
and a view.
Even knows it's there.
And a view. Great view up there. Yeah, just be careful. Those stairs are very steep.
Yes, they are. Go ahead, Culture. What's your tip?
I got two. I'll give you two. I'll start with the first one. If you're going to be in Florida, you know it's going to rain, so pack your own parka. You can buy a cheap one at a Walmart, or you can just grab a big hefty bag, cut 2 holes for your arms, for your shoulders, and cut a neck hole in the thing, fold the bag back up, put it in your back pocket. Done. In fact, you don't even have to do any of that. You can just tear those holes eventually if you wanted to.
Your tip is to wear trash bags?
Why not? I did before. I was stuck in Walt Disney World, and this terrible rain cell moved in. And so you know what I did is I went to the maintenance cart that was out, that they were doing replacing the trash bags and the trash cans, and I swiped some of the trash bags and I handed it to my party. Now those are clear. Those are clear trash bags if you want to.
Probably look just like they
look like cheap ones. And again, there's all these types of things. And the other thing is, obviously, I'm a park hopper, and I like to get the biggest value I can. So I am a rope drop person, and I'm going to tell you, always start your rope drop at what is most likely to be the busiest park of the day. And oftentimes you can guess that easily. It's going to be Magic Kingdom, but that is the best place to go about it. And if you are not minding standing in line and sipping your Starbucks, go extra early so you don't have the parking hassle, the tram hassle, the ferry hassle, or the monorail hassle. And if you are going to live in that area, if you plan to stay on property, I still think that the Contemporary Resort is the best choice, because you can literally walk right into the park through your own private security area. It's much faster. So there you go. 3 tips.
All right, Erika, your tip.
Oh, goodness. So to bear the heat, don't buy the water. You can get free water, even though it tastes kind of funny. You can take your own water flavoring, like whatever they're called. I use essential oils. I use Young Living lemon oil, and I put it in my water, and it flavors it. And they are vegan, safe for consumption. That's why I order from them. And we have not just the neck breezer things, but we also got these little things that clip onto your belt on the back, and it's battery op. You can charge it, and it blows air up through the back of your shirt. That's kind of convenient. But you do need a battery backup. The batteries will run low. You're going to have to recharge some of your stuff.
So far, our tips are Tupperware, throw yourself in the trash, and get a butt fan.
Hey, that butt fan works great.
There you go.
More like a back fan, because it's like a little mini portable.
It does sound amazing. It does sound like something that is actually.
But you will in that heat, if you keep running it on high, it'll go low battery in a few hours. So I would only use it if you absolutely have to. But we do have them, and they're convenient.
Pro, what do you got?
Tip number 1 from Pro, empty your pockets. You don't need your house keys in Disney, and you got to take them all out for security anyway. So empty those pockets of everything except your cell phone. If you have a stroller, use that as your bag instead, because bags get checked, but strollers move through pretty quickly. So that's the way to go. Tip number 2, when going to Typhoon Lagoon, you might be having a hard time finding a place to sit, but do not sweat it. Not for a minute, because all you got to do is go where the shark reef used to be. Take a right where you receive the snorkels, and you'll find a very secret grotto of chairs in the shade. Don't spend big money on one of those, what do you call them? Pergolas? I don't know. Gondolas? Cabanas? Okay. Babana Fafana. Folks, don't spend your mamana on that. Instead, go where Shark Reef used to be, and you'll find a great place in the shade.
Is that where the submarine is? Because that's where I like to go.
It is, but take a far right, Marv. There's a concrete path that goes behind that, which they turn into a bar. There's a concrete path that goes behind that building there, the shack with the shark teeth on it. Go to the right, stay to the right, and you'll find kind of a secret spot back there that very few people know about. Finally, last tip for you, when going to Epcot, skip Spaceship Earth in the morning. If it's got a line then, it won't have a line in the evening, and you'll get the win, my friends. Spaceship Earth and all of the attractions up front, get the lines first. Minus Ratatouille, and heck, you don't need to ride that either because it just sucks. That's the story from Pro. Those are your tips.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Erika, you've got a show that you like to do on Fridays, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so on our channel, you can hang out with me and Raf. It's at Erika-Raf is what you can plug into YouTube, and it takes you straight to the channel. But the name of the stream is Brewed Banter, so we just bring our brew, coffee, tea, beer, and we banter about anything, and I mean literally anything. And it can get spicy. Not for kids.
Oh, yeah.
Not for kids. Speaking of not for kids, Culture Casino is here. And
wow. That's fair. That's fair. Look, my channel during the day is very family safe. At night, if we have a night show, it does get a little off the rails. But normally, I keep it contained on this channel and over on the Pro channel. But
until Dick Lippin shows up,
they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
I didn't.
See, I had the unedited version of that for my channel.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, anyway, look, I want to promote one thing tonight after the Pro show, which you can't miss tonight. You gotta check out T3PO. Lou and I return with the backlot, and tonight we are talking late night. So the show's already up and ready to go. So you can even set your reminder now.
Wunderbar.
Tonight for me, guys, I'm going to be at Geeks and Gamers Play at 9:00. We're going to be playing Fall Guys, which I'm terrible at. So if you want to come laugh at me, I'm really bad at Fall Guys. But then afterward, I believe probably around 11:00, I'll be going live on M4 Empire Gaming, as long as I can figure out this OBS thing to get the audio fixed. Then I will be live, probably playing Arkham City tonight. So make sure you check that out at M4 Empire Gaming, and trying to get an M4 Empire video out today as well on my normal channel, the M4 Empire.
All right. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, ladies and gentlemen, put all arms, legs, feet, and tentacles, you don't have any of those, inside the vehicle, because this show is moving on and sending you on over to Vash. But one more time, you all are the best around.